My name is also Erik, but with the C, so it's kind of my own thing. But I didn't meet Erik as Erik with a K. I met Erik as Squirrel back in 2015 out at Burning Man. I have no idea how he got that name. They just kind of randomly get shat out. Mine is Dollface. I'll take it. Unless it's like a horror movie, creepy doll face. I don't want it, but I'll take it. I don't have anything near as profound as being his lady or his mom or the people that made sure that he made it, that his body was properly returned. I only got a snippet of Squirrel. I'm just going to call him Squirrel because that's who he is to me. But I only got a snippet of who he was. I'll never forget the first time I met him, just like everybody else. Wow, he's gorgeous. And, you know, I then would proceed to totally objectify him. To his face, though, he's fine with it. But then I realized that there was so much more cake than frosting with this guy. And I didn't know if, like, because a lot of people go out to Burning Man and they are just absolutely free, and so you see a lot of them just being their best selves out there because there's no expectation for you to be anything other than authentic. And what I saw was amazing. This dude just had this, you ever see on TV like where people just kind of have this aura and they shine as they glide across the desert? He was one. You know, we would all stand around covered in dust, just being pissed off about how hot it was in the position that we chose to be in, mind you. We take the Burning Man challenge because it's not easy. And no matter what he had going on, he always had that smile. Like the smile. You ought to bottle that shit and sell it because it would change everything for the better. And we would be there in this 100 and some odd degree heat, being pelted with playa dust. And he'd walk in with that smile and just bounce in and, hey man, how's it going? Oh, I'm kind of tired. Oh, well, yeah, it's hot. No, I just finished running an ultra marathon. Well, I guess fuck the rest of us. And year after year after year, he was this guy that could make such... I mean, Burning Man is an active desert environment that is actively trying to kill you. And he would make it so bearable, you know? Even if it was just to say, well, you know it's not gonna matter a week from now, right? You'll be back in all the things. We worked at the same ice igloo together. He would work the mid shift and I would work closing. And because it was so bleeding hot, I would often go in early because we had refrigerated ice trucks to stand in and ice bags to hug and I would just say, okay, well, what can I do? He's like, you can go stand over there on that table and dance around and look pretty. Yes! Not because I'm good at it, but because he told me I was pretty. And so that was the snippet of Squirrel that I got every year. And it was always home. It was always a comfort to just see him there. He was always the first one to help put up somebody's tent, pitch black night, or if something needed moving from here to there, he just did it. We talked about a lot of things and he just was not a dumb blonde. Loved it. Which just made him even hotter. And then he was a surfer, and then he was a snowboarder, and then he built all these things. And like, seriously, leave something for the rest of us. And then he left all of us. And, you know, for a person that I only saw for 8 days a year, it really was a kick in the dick finding out that he wasn't going to be here this year. Especially after last year when he brought Keely into our family. And it was such a big moment for him. Like, he was so proud to introduce us to her. And he really does love you so much. Like, it was just the biggest shit-eating, cheesy grin on his face when he was like, "Oh, is this my girlfriend Keely?" Like, lucky bitch. No. Erik really was like a brother in the way that black people mean it. And he will always be a special part of our family out on the playa. And I know that we weren't the only group that held him close. There were a lot of people that were trying to steal him from us. So we just kept saying, "Hey, we got ice and golf carts, cool shit." And but you know what I mean. We love him all. And so I would like to invite you all, instead of, you know, they usually do like a moment of silence at these things. I would like to encourage right now for a few moments, just a moment of noise for a light way. All right, thank you. That's all I got.
Maybe. Maybe I'll stand up here. Oh God. So I met Erik in 2009. He moved into my friend Amanda's house, and it was a pretty special place. We partied pretty hard there, and Erik just was always maintaining. I don't know how, because it was just a crazy place. And he became my friend there. That's where he became my friend. And it was like this moment where we were like, we're friends. Like, there was like this moment where we're like, could we date? No. And it was like really special, because it's hard to be friends with people like as handsome as Erik, right? And so, and it always remained that way. And he's all like, brother, yes, brother. Like, I always compared myself to Erik. I always shared my like dating horrible stories, and he shared his dating horrible stories. And so I always compared myself to, I'm like, well, Erik hasn't got a date yet, so you're doing pretty good with me. Like, you know, and because it was like that competition, because he's my brother, right? And it was like, okay. Yeah, he was always at Arctica. I camped with a few different camps, and he'd always like swoop in and say hello and hang out with all of us from Bend. And one time he came in and we were doing something we shouldn't have been doing or something. And I was like, well, I don't have any more of this, but I have some Vyvanse. And he's like, 5 ants? Like, so innocently, but also like trying to be funny. And I was like, never mind. I was like, just, Erik, that's all I have. If you want it. He's like, what's 5 ants? And that was really funny. I don't know why that popped into my head. Because he would just be funny, but like, he always had this like weird, anyways. And then my mom, who passed away about 5 years ago, actually stayed with Camille, I believe, when she was nursing. Anyways, so it's, like, he's like my family, right? Like, he's my family. All my friends here are my family. And so it was like, my brother died. Like, it was just really sad. But man, when he found Keely, I was like, there's hope for me. I'm gonna find somebody too, because Erik found someone and we had been looking together, like, just, I was so excited for him. And yeah, I didn't know he was gonna be at Burning Man this year. And I didn't know, he didn't know I was there, I didn't know he was there, and I went to go get ice. And he's standing there, and I go, Erik, you're here? You're a Burning Man. You didn't tell me you're coming here. He's like, I'm always here. And I was like, oh my God, okay, well, I'm so glad you're here. And so he's always here. He's always here. He's always around us. And he taught me how to be a good friend. How to be a good friend, an honest, true, good friend. And like, that is priceless. That is a gift. And I feel honored to be even saying anything, because I know he has a lot of friends that probably want to talk, so that's all I'm going to say. Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you. I have a list of things that I want to say after this, but I'm just going to free for all it. Wow. Camille, Keely, Ian, Babyface. Dollface. Babyface. Dollface. I'm just going to offer a little prayer that we can all partake in. So let's everyone close their eyes. I want you all to take a big deep breath through the nose, out through the mouth. Feel the earth below your feet. Think of a memory of Erik. Got some chuckles. Visualize his face. That bright smile. The Spirit is here with us now. Can you feel him? You might be getting goosebumps. He's saying hi. He's just on the other side of the veil. Take a moment to connect with them. You burn so bright while you're here, brother. You touched all of us in the most profound of ways. Your soul's journey is off to the biggest adventure. You're at home among the everlasting light of the universe. The moments that we've all shared with you will be in our thoughts, and your presence will live deep in our hearts forever. Now everybody raise their hands high up into the air. Feel the freedom of his soul flying. Now on the count of 3, we're going to say, I love you, Erik. Ready? 1, 2, 3. We love you, Erik. Now look around. Look at the connections. Look at the friendships. The people that loved him. This is community. It's tribe. It's friends. Thank you, Erik, for being the glue. This moment here. We're all good to share. We love you so much, brother. Thank you, everyone, for coming.